Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, we are from group 2 and the group consists of Annisa Fadlillah, Atikah, Junianti, Krisantus, Syifa and Zahrotul. We are going to present our material about Hakikat, Perencanaan, Pembelajaran. Our materials are continue of group 1. In the previous material, it is about definition, the important one, and the benefit of lesson planning. And here is the outline. First, the function of lesson planning. Second, the essential of a good lesson planning. And last, the easy ways to improve lesson planning. And for the first material will be presented by Syifa uniswa. The function of lesson plan. First and the most importantly, lesson plans can help teachers think and deliver the classes. When teacher plan lesson plan, there are several aspects that need to be taken into consideration, such as lesson objectives, possible difficulties, skill, and so on. The second one, it is a record of classes that have been done and the material have been used. On the one hand, even though teachers have a good memory, it is almost impossible for them to remember the classes that took several months or years ago. On the other hand, if the teacher is sick, the other teacher can help deal with emergencies with lesson plan. And the third, lesson plans are working documents that can help teachers keep on the lesson objectives. Sometimes teachers cannot finish all the material that they have prepared for the student. However, teacher can keep them in lesson plan and teach student in the next class or in the next week. If it very necessary for them to practice more or certain target language. And that's for me. Thank you for listening.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Annisa Fadlillah. Here I want to explain about essential of a good lesson plan. Generally speaking, the following are the characteristics of a good lesson plan. Here is 15 characteristics. The first is it should be written. A lesson plan preferable be written and should not remain at the oral or mental stage. The teacher is strongly advises, at least in the early stage, to make a written note of his preparation. Writing helps in clarifying thought and concentration. The second is it should have clear aims. The lesson plan should clearly state the objectives general and specific to be achieved. And the third is it should be linked with the previous knowledge. The plan should not let the lesson remain an isolated one. It should have its basis on the background of the class. It should grow out of what the pupils have already learned. And the fourth is it should show technique of teaching. It should state clearly the various steps that the teacher is going to take and also various questions that he will ask. And the next, it should show the illustrative aids. The illustrative aids to be used should be shown in the lesson plan. And next, it should contain suitable subject matter. The material of construction or subject matter should be carefully selected or organized. And number 7, it should divide it into units. The plan should be divided into units, but care should be taken to see that the listener remains an integrated whole and every unit developed from the previous and submerges into the next one. And the 8 is it should provide for activity. The children must be given enough scope to, to be active. It should not make them mere passive listeners. For the point 9 to 15, it will be explained with Zahrotul Nafingah. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Zahrotul Nafingah. I would like to explain about essential of a good lesson plan continue from my partner Annisa Fadlillah. Okay, the second is it should provide for individual differences. The plan should be prepared in such a way as it doesn't fall justice to all the students of various ability. And then the next is it also contain routine things. The plan should indicate the duration of the period. The period itself and average age of the student, subject, and the class. And the next is it should be flexible. The plan is a man and not an on end. It's trying to follow it safely. It is an instrument and should be used as such. The teacher should be prepared to change this the teaching method from those as referred to into in the plan if needed. And then the next is it should include the summary. The lesson plan should include the summary of the fall lesson, which is to be developed on the blackboard with the help of students. And then the next is it should refer to reference material. The plan become more useful if it refers to other reading material. This will motivate the brain student to do extra reading. And then the next is it should include assessment for students. A good lesson plan cannot be thought of without appropriate assessment for the student. Assessment can take different forms. And the last is it should provide for self evaluation. A good lesson plan must have a suitable plan for self-critique. The teacher should put some question to himself and find out the answer and thereby judge the effectiveness of the lesson or otherwise.
Hi, my name is Atikah Junianti. I would like to present about easy ways to improve a lesson plan. Okay, first one is plan your test ahead of time. According to ebook Learn with BBC World Service Action Plan for Teachers, a guide to teaching English by Colin Robertson and Richard Akram, that there is 7 steps to planning a lesson. Aims and concept, context and marker sentence, starting a lesson, presenting the language, control practice, prayer, less control practice, finishing the lesson. So before you plan your tasks ahead of time, I think you can consider this 7 step, and I think this step will make your lesson plan improve better. Okay, next slide is consider your individual student and their needs. Learner characteristic. H. Douglas Brown in his book Principle of Language Learning and Teaching, Chapter 1, Language Learning and Teaching, page 2, Learner characteristic. Learner characteristic is who are the learner that you are teaching, what are their intellectual capacities, abilities, and strength and weakness. This and other questions focus attention on some of the crucial variables affecting both learners' success in acquiring a foreign language and teachers' capacities to enable learners to achieve that acquisition. So I think this means that every student have different characteristics to achieve your lesson plan. So make sure to incorporate their the student characteristic to your lesson plan, into your lesson plan to improve your lesson plan better. Thank you. That's all from me.
Hello everyone, good morning. Today I want to presentation. The first of all, allow me introduce myself. My name is Krisantus A Batura. So, ask yourself, what you would want to know about this if you were a child. Be honest, we were all children on the one time. Think about what would have excited you as a child and consider how to that translate to college today. Of course, relating your lesson plan today something Alex be Keaton with on family. This may not fly for your students, but maybe you could relate it to something Hannah Montana did on her show. And the next, consider homework careful. This an obvious way to improve a lesson plan that it bears repeating again. Homework should reinforce what you taught your student in class. It should never be a simple review. So, if you taught your students about the war of 1812, homework, homework should be to write in fact the White House and why. Maybe homework should be Woodley mention was and what she did as the White House was burning. Perhaps you should ask your students to find out what French the United States was doing at the time. Expand the scope while reinforcing what they learned instead of simply giving them rote homework, and you will easily make your lesson plan that much better. Okay friend, thank you your attention.
That's all from us. Give us your question and thank you.